Johar, welcome back to my channel. So, this is going to be this video is about some books I want to read, but it's a little bit different because these are books not fantasy books that I want to read. And as you all should know by this point, I mostly read fantasy, but there are a few books that I do want to try. Um, so some of them I'm a little scared to try, but I'm gonna give them a chance, open mind. So I've met a lot of people recently who like cozy mysteries, and I figured, and there's part of cozy that's like paranormal cozy. So I thought, you know what? Why not give cozy mysteries a try? At least the paranormal ones. Um, I have to admit, I am a little scared to try them because I don't know, mysteries for me, I like the more creepiness factor, like Pretty Little Liars. I mean, I don't really think Pretty Liars is that creepy, but it does have its eerie moments. Um, and I like light stuff like cozies sometimes, but I mean, I absolutely love the Monster High Girlfriend series. That's pretty on the light side since it's middle grade, but I absolutely love that series. Um, but in mysteries, I don't know, I like that more dark, edgy part of it. But I'm gonna give it a try and I'm gonna keep it on mind because I love paranormal things and I love mysteries. Well, I love to watch mysteries. I haven't really branched out mysteries in book form. As you know, I mostly read fantasy, but I'm going to try other genres. One of the books I'm going to mention is actually a mystery. It's not a cozy mystery though, just a normal mystery. But anyways, so I'm going to start with the cozy mysteries because I added a few to my Goodreads. So I asked my friends for suggestions and they gave me some. So I'm going to go on my Goodreads and find out what they are because I don't remember the names off the top of my head. Well, I'm already there, but yeah. So this is the Witchcraft Mystery series, and a lot of the cozy mysteries, a lot of cozy mystery series just seem to be pretty long, which I like. I like longer series. There's always more to them. I mean, don't get me wrong. If it starts to go downhill, I feel like they should stop before they ruin it. But if they can't keep going and make it interesting, then by all means continue the series. I love following the same characters for a long period of time as long as it stays good. So yeah, but I mean, look at Warriors. I haven't actually finished Warriors, so I don't know if it stays good. But I know my friend, one of my closest friends, absolutely loves it, and she's like almost all caught up, I think, or I know she bought recently. Received the book she hasn't read yet for Christmas. I think the only ones she hasn't read are the ones that are coming still yet to come out. So yeah. Um, But Warriors, there's oh my gosh, how many war books there are? I don't know math, so I'm not gonna answer that. But I know there's 36 plus there's gonna be a little bit over 36. I say about 40-ish books in the actual series, plus 13 super editions, plus 7 times I don't know, plus several novellas. I'm not doing math. Math is evil. Um, Plus mangas, which I do not own because I'm not a manga reader. I do own the Secrets manga, but I only read those because of Secrets and Secrets is the world. But yeah, so I'm hoping Warriors doesn't go downhill. My friend seems to still talk highly about it, so that gives me some hope. But yeah, so that's probably the longest series I've ever read or am planning on reading. But Secrets is kind of long because most books don't last 12 books plus 2 manga, so 14 technically. Survivors lasted 12 books, and Bravelands only has 6 so far, but I'm pretty sure they're still making those. So yeah, so as long as they can still keep going, I'm all for longer series as long as it doesn't go downhill. And if it starts to lose something, then I feel like the author, writer, whatever, this goes for movies and TV shows too, should stop because nothing can last forever, but if it can last for a long period of time, it should. At least that's my feelings on that. Anyways, I got off topic as usual. Um, so the Witchcraft Mystery. Um, it says Lily Ivory is not your average witch. Her spellcasting powers tend to draw mischievous spirits while keeping normal humans at a distance. But now her vintage clothing store could give her a second chance to make friends in San Francisco. Lily hopes for a normal life when she opens Aunt Cora's closet. With her magical knack for vintage fashion, she can sense vibrations of the past from clothing and jewelry. Her store becomes a big hit. But when a client is murdered and children start disappearing from the Bay Area, Lily may be the only one who can unravel the crime. She tries to keep her identity a secret while investigating, but it's not easy, especially under the spells of a sexy Mythbuster Max Carmichael and powerful witch Aiden Rose. Will Lily's witchy ways be forced out of the closet? Hmm, intriguing. I love witches. They're my favorite mythical. I was gonna say creatures, but I don't think witches are technically creatures, like vampires or they're my favorite mythical beings, I'll say, because they are magical and all. So, see what's the next. Yeah, see, the series gone a while. Okay, I think this next one. Okay, the Haunted Lodge Cozy Mystery. Tony Owens is at a crossroads, divorced, low on funds, and unhappy with where she's at in life. She decides to buy a lodge in the mountains and start over. When she arrives at her new home, she finds the Grand Lodge is a rundown mess. To make matters worse, she finds the one person she's connected with standing over a dead body on her first full day in town. Now, Tony needs to find a way to clear her new friend of murder while searching for a job and figuring out what to do with the lodge she pined her dreams on. Throw in a goofy dog of who needs a home, a ghost reluctant to share her space, and a handsome neighbor eager to help her rebuild, and she's got her hands full. Determined to make her fresh start a success, she rolls up her sleeves and gets to work. But will it be enough? This is the first book in the Haunted Lodge Cozy Mystery series. Definitely intriguing. You always gotta love a ghost thrown in there, right? Maybe that's just me. The Bloomin' Psychic series. 42-year-old Mia Thorne is not living her best life. After a disastrous career and relationship ending event, she escapes New York City and moves to sleepy river town in Pennsylvania, courtesy of a dead aunt she never knew. Aunt Hazel was the reclusive family nun, a self-proclaimed psychic. Of course, Mia's dad always told her that she too had the gift, but after his death, her mother made sure to squelch the notion. No square pigs allowed. Aunt Hazel's old cottage is only slightly better than the Crypt garden surrounding it. Mia doesn't know the first thing about gardening and accepts that will be one more failure for her seemingly endless list. Even Aunt Hazel's ancient cat seems to have picked her as a loser. When Mia stumbles over a body in the overgrown garden, the newcomer catches the eye of the police chief and his hotshot detective Derek Fairfax, and she becomes the number one suspect in the case. Much to her shock, and awe, she also catches the eye of Derek's brother, Dane, a lawyer with a head for what's legal and a bod of what isn't, but getting arrested for murder would certainly put a damper on her dating life. Will Mia tap into her long buried psychic skills in order to save herself, or will she end up digging her own grave? Hmm, a psychic. Gotta love psychic. Maybe that's just me. This is seasoned magic. I think it's yeah. Um, midlife can be magical. That's the idea behind paranormal women's fiction, where you'll find a woman of a certain age kicking, but these are powerful creatures who know what they want to. They are. Is this the second book in that series? I'm not sure. Hmm. Um. Okay. Yeah, that was part of that series. Okay. So looking for the next series I have on my list, a bewitching mystery. Antique shop clerk Maggie O'Neill was a little weirded out when she discovered her new boss Felicity was a witch, but when Felicity becomes a suspect in a local murder, Maggie must enlist Felicity's Wiccan friends for help and discover her own spellbinding talent. Like I said, I love a good witch book. Witches are my thing. I have a whole Wiccan altar over there. I have like 3 spell books. I'm working on getting a fourth. And a fifth, maybe a sixth. Yeah, I'm just gonna buy spell books until I want to stop. I have skeleton things. I have a couple chalices. One of those, I have a little pyramid thing with a triquetra, and I have one of those potion making things. I just need potion ingredients to work with it. Yeah, I might have an obsession. Let's see. Okay, I think this is next series. Holiday Hills Witch. I have a perfect life. I recently rented the most adorable little apartment on top of my favorite bookstore coffee shop on Main Street in Holiday Hills, the charmingness of charming small southern towns. I spend my days ghostwriting a cozy mystery series for a well-known author and maybe just a minute or two crushing on the town's police chief. But of course, I never let the cat out of the bag. I'm still dealing with my recent divorce, and no matter what my bestie says, I'm so not ready for anything in the romance department. Speaking of cats, my little Burmese Cooper follows me around like he's my guard dog. Thankfully, Holiday Hills is animal friendly. Everyone's got a cat or dog, and that crazy old woman on the back end of town has the funniest talking parrot. Oh, that crazy old woman. She's a local celebrity, which can be a lot of trouble for her daughter. How do I know? Because that's me. I'm the crazy old woman's daughter. The good news is everyone loves my mother, including me. The bad news is she recently died, and when she died, she opened up a whole new world for me. One I'd always thought was fictional, the magical world. Now I have witchy powers, a talking cat, and a knack for finding dead bodies in my quaint little town. Ones that haven't died by accident. My name's Abby Odell, and I'm a witch. Who knew? I sure didn't. Thanks for that, Mom. Interesting. Apparently, my cozy mystery loving friends really know me because it seems like most of what they suggested are all witchy related. Thank you for that, everyone. Magic Potion Mystery. As the owner of the little shop of potions, a magic potion shop specializing in love potions, Carly Bell Hartwell finds her product more in demand than ever. A local soothsayer has predicted that the couple in town will soon divorce, and now it seems every married person in Hitching Post, Alabama, wants a little extra martyr, marsh, martyr, I feel like I can't speak matrimonial magic to make sure they stay hitched. But when Carly finds a dead man in her shop, clutching one of her potion bottles, she goes from her most popular potion person to public enemy number one. In no time, the murder investigation becomes a witch hunt, literally. Now Carly's going to need to brew up some serious sleuthing skills to clear her name and find the real killer before the whole town becomes convinced her potions really are to die for. Ooh, and potions are added. I love potions. This one is perfectly proper paranormal museum. When Maddie Kozlowski's career flattens, she retreats to her wine country hometown for solace and cheap rents. Railroaded into managing the local paranormal museum, she's certain the rumors of its hauntings are greatly exaggerated, but new ghosts may be on the loose. A fresh corpse in the museum embroils Maddie in murders past and present. With her high school bully as one of the officers in charge, Maddie doubts justice will be served. When one of her best friends is arrested, she's certain it won't be. Maddie grapples with ghost hunters, obsessed taxidermists, and the sexy motorcyclist next door as outside forces threaten. And as she juggles special shenanigans with the hunt for a killer, she discovers that there truly is no place like home. A ghostly one. I love good ghost one too. My favorite mythical beings are witches, skeletons, vampires, and ghosts. Those are my favorites. Pepper Martin or Martian, something like that. Beautiful, smart chick, Pepper Martin never had to work a day in her life. Until her surgeon daddy was convicted of fraud, her wealthy fiance took a powder, and the family fortune fortune ran bone dry. Suddenly desperate, the inexperienced ex-rich girl was forced to take the only job she could get as a tour guide in a cemetery. But a grave situation took a turn for the worse when a head-on collision with a headstone left her with an unwanted ability to communicate with the disgruntled deceased. And now Pepper has a whacked mafia don demanding that she hunt down the killers and threatening to haunt her until she dies. That's never good. See, next. This one seems to be kind of long. Oh, that was the last one. Okay. So that's it for the cozies that I plan on reading eventually. A lot of times I'm pretty sure I'm gonna like the book because I mostly stick with fantasy, so I usually just go ahead and buy it. I haven't actually rented from a library in a while because of that. But with the cozies, I will definitely get them at the library, and if I like them enough and plan and think I might reread them someday, then I will buy them after that. But um, since I'm not sure if I'm even gonna like the paranormal cozies, I'm going to rent them at the library. But here are some other books I went ahead and bought because I think I got them for free on thrift book. Okay, this one I did. This one I think I got free on thrift books, and I figured that sounds interesting. Anyways, why not? But yeah, okay. So my next one I'm going to show is this. It's Riverdale, and if you know from the TV show Riverdale, it's a mystery. So not fantasy. This is actually when I was in Florida visiting my sister, recently ish. Yeah, it was recently. It was back in May. It seems a lot longer than that, but it was only in May. Wow. Okay. I we decided to have a day, just the two of us. So we went to Barnes and Noble because, of course, that's where you're gonna take me, which she learned was a mistake because it was hard to drag me out of that place. And I was starting to spend a lot of money, and then I found the Harry Potter section, and I said that she was cruel for bringing me there. But again, it was my choice to go there. I was the one that suggested it. But anyways, moving on, I found this book, and I was like, I didn't even know they had Riverdale books. But and then I found the book on Goodreads, and I discovered it was actually the third book in a series, and there's 5 in total. So I'm gonna have to buy the rest. Yeah, so I had no idea they made Riverdale books, but it is a mystery, and I love the TV show. Never read the comics, never been a comic person, and I didn't even know the comics were a thing until I discovered the TV show. But yeah, so I'm intrigued to read these. Um, so the back of it says, "The Maple Man is coming for you." Riverdale is teeming with excitement over the news that an old town tradition is suddenly being revived, the Riverdale Rebels. But Archie, Betty, Jughead, and Veronica find the whole thing suspicious. The festival dates back to the town's first successful maple tapping. Why is there no record of the rebels anywhere? Then, on the first night of the festival, a skeleton is uncovered in a 75-year-old time capsule, and accidents keep befalling the contestants of the Royal Maple Pageant, including some of the gang's friends. Someone is clearly trying to put an end to the rebels once and for all, but who? And more importantly, why? Told from alternate points of view, this double set in the Riverdale universe is not an original story seen on the show. Well, that much I knew because I've watched almost all of Riverdale. I'm a little behind because I haven't watched the new season. Well, I watched the first 3 episodes, I think. I haven't watched from the since they did the whole time jump thing. But once it hits Netflix, I plan to. So yeah. So that's this book, and I'm excited to read it because I love the show. I just hope that they have Betty and Jughead as a couple because I know in the comics they don't. And I love that couple, so they better be in store. And I hope Cheryl and Tony is too, because Cheryl, if it's Maple, then Cheryl has to be included, right? You'll understand that if you ever watched the show. So next is this one. I bought this when I was at Barnes & Noble with Fantasia as well. We were I've been wanting to read this, and I saw it there, and I figured, why not? So, or no, or was it when I was at Barnes Noble with my mom when we got back? I don't remember, but it was one of those times. I saw it and I figured, why not? There's 2 in the duology. I did not buy the second one because I did not see it, but I do plan on getting it eventually, whenever I plan on reading this. but I actually heard of this for the first time by another booktuber, Peyton Reese. She's one of my favorite booktubers, and she discovered this duology, and it became one of her new favorite books ever. And when she was talking about it, it intrigued me, and I do like mysteries, so I figured why not try a book mystery instead of just watching them like the Little Liars, because I'm obsessed with that show. But this says this is the story of an investigation turned obsession. Pretty and, Pretty and popular high school senior Andy Bell was murdered by her boyfriend Sal Singh, who then killed himself. It was all anyone could talk about. About 5 years later, sees how the tragedy still haunts her town. Now a senior herself, Pip decides to re-examine the closed case for her final project. At first, just to cast doubt on the original investigation, but soon she discovers a trail of dark secrets that might actually prove Sal innocent, and the line between past and present begins to blur. Someone in Fairview doesn't want Pip digging around for answers, and now her own life might be in danger. Sounds intriguing, and I'm really intrigued to find out because I want to know if Sal actually did it. But I don't think he did. Sounds like they might, whoever killed, what was the name? Andy Bell might have killed Sal Singh to, and make it look like a suicide just to get away with it. But thanks to Pip, he's not going to. So yay. And then there's this book. Final Girls is either horror or thriller. I think it's horror. I'm not sure. But this seems really interesting because it's basically, I'll just read it to the back. But 10 years ago, college student Quincy Carpenter went on vacation with 5 friends and returned alone. In an instant, she became a member of a club no one wants to belong to, a group of similar survivors known in the press as the Final Girls. Lisa, who lost 9 sorority sisters to a college dropout's knife, Sam, who went up against the sack man during her shift at the nightlight, and now Quincy, who ran bleeding through the woods to escape him. Despite the media's attempts, they never meet. Now, Quincy's doing well, maybe even great, thanks to her Xanax prescription. She has a caring, almost fiance Jeff, and a therapeutic presence in Coop, the police officer who saved her all those years ago. Memory won't even allow her to recall the events of that night, and the past is the past. That is until Lisa is found dead in her bathtub, wrist slit, and Sam appears on Quincy's doorstep, intent on making Quincy relive the past. And when new details about Lisa's death come to light, Quincy's life becomes a race against time as she tries to unravel Sam's truth from her lies and remember what really happened at Pine College before what was started 10 years ago is finished. Ooh. Um. Yeah, it seems kind of like a horror mystery because there's the mystery of who's doing this. I guess honestly, all horrors have a tiny bit of mystery. I mean, because they have to try to figure out who the heck is doing this. I mean, not all horrors. Nightmare on Elm Street, they knew who was doing this. Freddy Krueger, the guy from the nightmares. But like Scream, they had to figure out who Ghostface was because no one knew. You know, not until the end. I'm sure there's more. Maybe not. I don't know. Chucky? No, because they figured out Chucky pretty early, I think. I don't know. I haven't seen all of them, just a few of them. But yeah, so intriguing, and I do love horror. I love watching it at least. I hope a book horror is as good. And yeah, gotta love horror. I love the intensity and the thrill, and it's just, I love it. Okay, so next, a couple books behind me. This is my Erin Hunter collection because I've bought every book she has written so far. And yeah, Secrets is at top, obviously. Warriors, there's a lot of Warriors books, so it goes down until like here. It starts like here, it goes down all the way to here. Like I said, she has a lot of books. And then Survivors and Braveland. So before I bought all these other genre of books, I always said that I read fantasy besides Erin Hunter. because that was always true. Erin Hunter was pretty much the only books that Erin Hunter's books were the only ones I've ever really read outside of fantasy before. Because I fell in love with Seekers in fourth grade, Warriors for I can't speak today. I should go to bed, but I'm not because I'm gonna keep writing after this video. And I started Warriors a few years ago, never did finish them, but I finally bought them all, so I do plan on finishing them soon. Maybe beginning of next year, because I don't know. And then Survivors, I haven't read yet. I guess I can include Warriors in this list because technically I haven't finished it. So yeah, I'm going to include Warriors in this. So I plan on rereading. What have I read in Warriors? I read the first 12 books plus one of these super editions. So I plan on finishing Warriors. Well, I plan on rereading what I've already read and then read the rest. And yeah, so I think it's all like the first 6 books are about Firestar and Sandstorm and Greystripe, and then second 6 books are about Firestar and Sandstorm's kins, and then third one, even though I haven't read it yet, I did read the back, and it's about uh what's their names? Squirrelfly and Brambleclaw's kittens. And yeah, so it goes on like so I'm pretty sure it goes on like that. And shorts over here. But yeah, so I plan on finishing those soon, hopefully. And I'm really excited. But there's a lot of things, so that'll be fun to do. But maybe it'll help my Goodreads goal next year because I plan on doing 100 next year. I was trying to do 100 this year, but then, earlier this year I had so much overtime where I barely had time to read or write or do anything besides work and sleep. And then now I'm so focused on my writing because I'm so close to the climax that I have been working on that only pretty much. But I do plan on getting back into reading, and I'm excited to finally finish Shadow and Bone. I'm also better reading for my friend, and her story's pretty good so far. And then what else am I reading? Oh yeah, I started Secrets again. Because I'm obsessed with it, and I have to read it at least once a year, or I lose my mind. And I haven't read it this year, so I figured why not. And since I'm tabbing things now, I can finally tab Seekers. But then there's Survivors, which I plan on reading after Warriors. But anyways, like I said, Warriors could help me with my Goodreads goal with all those books. And besides, the 7th arc should be done by then, so I can buy those as well. And Survivors and Braveland could help me with my goal too, because there's not nearly as much, but there's still several. But anyways, Survivors. There's 12 books, I think, and then a novella. But yeah, so Survivors. What is it now? Lucky is a golden-haired mutt with a nose for survival. He has always been a lone dog, relying on his instincts to get by. Other dogs have packs, but Lucky stands alone. Then the big growl strikes. Suddenly, the group is split wide open. The trap house is destroyed, and all the long paws have disappeared. Now Lucky's trapped in a strange, desolate new world with no food, foul water, and enemies at every turn. He falls in love with others left behind, including his littermate Bella, a leash dog. Relying on other dogs and having them depend on him brings new dangers that Lucky isn't prepared for, but he may not be able to survive on his own. Can Lucky ever be a true pack dog? Intriguing. What am I doing next? And then Braveland, which is about a lion, baboon, and elephant. An interesting pair. Lion casts out from his pride, an elephant who can read the bones of the dead, a baboon rebelling against his destiny. Together they must heed the call of the wild. Intriguing. For generations, the African plains have been ruled by a strict code, only to kill to survive. But treachery lurks in unlikeliest of places, and some animals will stop at nothing in their thirst for power. When an unthinkable act of betrayal threatens to shatter the long-standing peace, three young animals, a lion, an elephant, and a baboon, are thrust together in an epic battle for survival. The fragile balance between hunters, scavengers, and predators and prey, and now rests and falls of these unlikely heroes, each with something to gain and everything to lose. Intriguing. So yeah, I'm really excited to finally do all these books. I'm just gonna put these here for now because I don't want to walk all the way over there. So yeah, I'm excited to try all these, and that is all for this video. Please like and subscribe and comment your books you plan on reading soon, and we will talk later.